What's up, guys? This is JD Rich coming back at you again with another One Piece video. I'm enjoying my chamomile tea, man. I'm on a weight loss journey. Just trying to beef up a little bit, man. I may have to warm that up a little bit, but it's actually pretty good, frankly. Yeah, but anyway, I know y'all didn't come here to see me drink tea, but still, thank you for being here, man. This is JD Rich coming back at you with another One Piece video and discussion. So let's just get straight into it. Now, I want to talk about the ending of God Valley. Like, not necessarily, I wouldn't say the ending, but what may happen towards the ending, you know? And one thing that, with everybody talking about Roger arriving, Garp arriving, Zebek and the crew arriving, and all of these factions here, even amongst the God Knights themselves, what everybody is forgetting, there was one faction that we're all leaving out, and that's the Kuja Pirates. Think about this. Shaki is captured, and she's been here for like a year at God Valley as one of the main prizes. So, with all the guys rummaging about, causing mayhem and fighting amongst each other and everything, because we don't know who's going to fight who, but we know it's going to be a big brawl amongst the crews, then amongst the lieutenants and captains, all together as one big showdown. But what everybody seems to be leaving out is the possible arrival, which I think is definitely going to happen, the possible arrival of the Kuja Pirates. You think that with Shaki being here as a former empress of the Kuja Pirates themselves, because look at this. Do you think with Shaki being here as a former empress that this news that has reached everyone about Shaki's abduction and capture on God Valley, you think that the Kuja are just going to sit idle and just let this play out? You think that they're not going to rally up and take up arms to come get their Amazon princess? You know what I'm saying? I think not. I think the Kuja are going to be here, because look at this. Look at how the news affected Gloriosa in the last two chapters when they learned that Shaki was actually captured. Gloriosa was distraught. She was crying because despite Gloriosa having slight jealousy over Shaki's attention that she may get above her, especially when it may come to Roger, you know what I'm saying? And even in general, when it came to the fan mail, when we first got introduced to the Kuja, Gloriosa still loves Shaki. Gloriosa still cares about Shaki. You know what I'm saying? That's still her girl. You know what I mean? So there's no way that goes without saying that the rest of the former crew, whoever's left, now led by Tritoma, however you say her name, Luffy's mom, allegedly, I still think it is. It has to be at this point. Come on now. But Tritoma, Luffy's mom, maybe not, but Luffy's mom, Tritoma, let's just go with it. She is now the head of the crew. I think that Tritoma will come here on God Valley. And on top of that, given that Tritoma is suspected to be Luffy's mom, this could be a perfect segue for her to meet Dragon. Think about, man, it never occurred to me, but because look, the Kuja Pirates are bound to come back into the story, and this is, because we only got the introduction, but this could be a further expansion on their character. You know, on their crew, the background and everything. Because think about this. After the guys end up saving Shaki, you would think that Shaki may leave with Roger on his ship. She could do that. That option is still there. But more than likely, I think the Kuja are going to come and pick her up. Like, when it's all said and done, or maybe towards the end of the battles, the Kuja will show up. And when Shaki is freed, after maybe she gets done helping Rayleigh, reunited with him, whatever, and possibly fall in love, she could leave with the Kuja and say, Ray-san, we need to meet again. We need to meet soon after we, you know what I'm saying? But I think the Kuja Pirates are going to show up. They are going to rescue Shaki. And as far as I mean rescue, I mean like give her transportation off the island. Now, as far as Shaki's rescue, I think that strictly falls into Rayleigh's hands. That has to come about in some way. But the Kuja Pirates, I believe, will definitely come back. And get this, if they do come back, this can be a perfect introduction to how Luffy's father and his mother meet. Think about this. Luffy's father and mother meeting on God Valley. And who knows, Dragon may sail away with the Kuja himself too. So what if Dragon and Shaki end up getting aboard the Kuja ship towards the end of this God Valley stuff? you know, because after Dragon stashes Shanks on Roger's ship or Zebek's ship, whichever ship he stashes them on, because I may have read a mistranslation. I actually thought that Shanks was stashed aboard the Saber of Zebek, because it's been said that he was found aboard Zebek's ship, but yet now it's floating around the community that Shanks is being it's floating around the community that Shanks was found on Roger's ship. So I don't care either way. I love it regardless. I really don't. But either way, Dragon set Shanks up on a pirate ship. And then whatever happened to Shamrock, we don't know. But God Valley could be the introduction of Dragon and Tritoma's relationship. This could be the intro of how they first meet, because there's no way that the Kuja pirates do not come back into the story. This is the former Empress Shaki. They're gonna come back for Shaki. Shaki has so much importance, not just as a woman being all beautiful and whatnot, but Shaki's charisma, personality, her enchantment, who she is. The Kuja were even affected by that. So knowing that their former Empress, their former vice captain, and captain, because once Gloriosa left, Shaki was the acting captain, then Tritoma became the vice captain. So essentially, their former captain, you know, learning that she has been imprisoned by these filthy Celestials, you think these women are not gonna act? They are coming into the fray. The Kuja pirates will definitely be swinging into the fray. How they will have, now I'm not saying they're even gonna fight anybody of significance. They, like, who knows? They might. I don't know what they would do, but Oda could set them up to possibly fight as well. Because I think they're going to be the last ones to arrive. I really think the Kuja will be the last to arrive. And they may take on some fodder soldiers, from some Marines to some Knights of the Holy Land. And you know what? I think they could probably hold their own. We might see some good fighting capabilities from the Kuja. We already know that they pack armament hockey inside their arrows and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm expecting to see some big things from the Kuja pirates. Don't underestimate these women. Don't underestimate them at all. Also, for them fighting for the cause of freeing their former captain and empress, Shakuyaku. So, Shaki may end up leaving God Valley, if not on Roger's ship, but on the Kuja pirate ship. But I think she may leave with the Kuja pirates because, one, those are her girls, you know what I'm saying? That's still loyalty right there. Yeah, she could have the option to leave with Rayleigh, but she's ultimately going to leave with her girls because I think it's more of a comfortability. Not that she wouldn't be comfortable on Roger's ship, but it's more of a homecoming type deal if she goes back with the Kuja pirates to get help sailing out of there, which she will. Now, she may not go back to the island of Amazon Lily, because if the Kuja pirates do leave with Shaki, she may ask them, hey, drop me off at Saba Odi. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shaki may ask to go to Saba Odi because she still doesn't want her presence of retirement to linger back to the island where the government can come and just ransack the Kuja because of Shaki's retirement. Because remember, that's why she didn't go back to the island. She didn't want her criminal past of being a pirate catching up with her and affecting the rest of the girls. She didn't want that brought on them. So she'd rather just take the heat to Hachinosu and hide out. Because, like, if the government is going to come for her, at least she has a swarm of pirates willing to protect her against possible capture. But she got captured anyway by a traitor in the Rocks Pirates, Wang Ji, sending her off back to God Valley. So, how could Tritoma and Dragon meet? Well, Dragon, after maybe saving Shanks and Shamrock, he could see the Kuja pirates coming to rescue Shaki, and there may be an interaction where, let's say, Tritoma and Dragon may have actually thought each other as enemies at first. Because think about this. I bet the Kuja pirates show up there and they start attacking the Marines because their Marines are just in their way. Now, after all, and on top of that, they're pirates at the same time. The Marines are the pirates' natural enemies on the seas because they're supposed to capture them. So we may get an instance where Tritoma and Dragon may start off initially trying to fight each other because they may be crossing paths. But then Dragon may tell her, like, hey, do what you want to do. I'm renouncing my ties to the Marines anyway, so I'm leaving here. And that may shock Tritoma. That may shock her, like, hold on, a Marine leaving the Marines? Maybe we could spare this guy. But this is just me spitballing by example, a prediction. But who knows? I really believe that the Kuja will come back, and we may get a significant introduction between a meeting that happens with Luffy's mother and Dragon. Because if Dragon does leave the island, who's he gonna leave with? Who's he gonna sail off with? Could Dragon possibly sail with the Kuja pirates? And then if he does leave God Valley with the Kuja pirates as well as Shaki, what further interaction will happen between Tritoma and Dragon? Because this is setting up for a major romance. This is setting, like, God Valley is setting up for a major romance build between certain characters, not just Dragon and Tritoma, but possibly Gloriosa and Whitebeard. Who knows? But still, I still think romance will occur on God Valley. There's no way that it doesn't. Because with all this chaotic battling ensuing, like, we have to get some sort of romance or the loss of romance, because Rox's wife is still on this island, and if we get a reunion between them, that might be short-lived, if lived at all, because I think she may die before Rox actually gets to her. And then Dragon and Tritoma, this could be the perfect segue to them crossing paths and meeting. And when they first cross paths, it may be them trying to take each other out, or the other way with Tritoma trying to take Dragon out, not necessarily kill him, but just fight him to get out of their way, because they're coming to get Shaki. The Kuja pirates are going to come. They will be the last to arrive, but they are coming for their girl. There's no way the Kuja pirates do not come for Shaki. So I think that the Kuja pirates will play an important role towards the ending of God Valley, and not the absolute end, but like towards the end, as the fights are dwindling down to the last battles and whatnot. The Kuja come in at the last minute and probably help out Roger and his crew fight the Marines off in order to go get Shaki. Because we're still going to see Rayleigh. I think we're still going to see Rayleigh rescuing Shaki. But Rayleigh may escort Shaki to the Kuja ship saying, hey, you got to go. It's best if you leave with your girls, because me and Roger and the crew, we're going to have too much heat on us at that point. And with you being caught in the midst of that, it just wouldn't work out. So go with your girls for now. Y'all get out of here, sail safe and whatnot. And then Shaki may kiss Rayleigh and then say, hey, we have to meet again, Ray-chan. We have to meet again, Rayleigh. Don't forget that. I'm yours now. So, you know, that could possibly happen. That undoubtedly could happen. So there's a lot. That's just my prediction. The Kuja pirates are gonna come back. They're gonna rescue Shaki. They're gonna get Shaki to safety and come pick her up after Rayleigh essentially makes the first rescue. Now, how will this rescue occur? Because I think that Rayleigh will fight Garling, but he may have help from Shaki. Shaki may interfere in the battle, or she may watch the battle unfold. But I know that Rayleigh is going to help Shaki get out of there. I also am predicting for the Kuja pirates to be Shaki's escort off the island, and possibly Dragons as well. Because we don't get any information about Dragon sailing with Roger off the island, Dragon sailing with Rox's crew off the island. Who knows? We don't even know what happened to Rox's ship. Like, was it sunk? Did it sink? Did somebody sink Rox's ship at God Valley? But Shanks was found aboard either or. Shanks was found aboard either Roger's ship or Rox's ship, somewhere where Dragon placed him. But Shaki, Dragon, and Tritoma, this is going to be a great interaction amongst characters. I think we may see Dragon and Shaki interacting as well, possibly. Because we don't know, with Dragon leaving the Marines and openly rebelling, because it's a spoiler hinted out that Dragon actually shot a celestial dragon. So we don't know if Dragon actually got on board a Marine ship during the aftermath of God Valley, which he probably didn't. Why would he get on a Marine ship and sail out of there after he just rebelled? So that's out of the question. But we got a question, how did everyone leave the island? We know Roger and his crew left via his ship, and Garp and his Marine crew, they left on their ship. But how did everybody else leave? Because like you could suspect that Shaki leaves with Roger and his crew, but I don't believe that. I believe the Kuja pirates are gonna come back, and they're gonna be the last people we expect to show up. But they will show up. They're coming to get their girl. They're coming to get their captain. This is their former captain. They're not just gonna sit by and let this just happen with her becoming a slave and also remaining in this custody. So, and this is perfect for the Kuja to come back, because look at this. if they came strictly by themselves, they could possibly get slaughtered. Who knows? But with Roger and Zebek and the Rock's crew, Roger's crew and the Rock's crew coming and causing all this mayhem, this could be a perfect time for the Kuja to sweep in under the radar as we least expected and save their girl, because all the attention is going to be on the main factions. All the attention is going to be on Garp, Roger, and Zebek and their respective crews and allies. That mayhem is going to it's going to solely catch the attention of the Celestials, leaving an open window for the Kuja pirates to swoop in and do what they need to do. Maybe catch a little fodder fights here and there, and then take Shaki and leave. Like, Captain, we came for you. We weren't going to let you stay in the hands and the captivity of these men. Because remember, Shaki said she would never submit to the captivity of anyone, especially a man. So, knowing that their former captain is in the captivity of these male, I'm not gonna call them men, but male celestial dragons, these girls got something to say, and they're gonna pull up. They're definitely gonna pull up. I have no doubt about it that the Kuja pirates are going to pull up at God Valley. They're gonna get Shaki out of there. Rayleigh is gonna save her, of course. I still predict that. And then we're gonna see Rayleigh, Garling, and possibly Whitebeard and Garling. Like that. I'm gonna make a video about the possible fights and who the matchups later on. But this is about the Kuja pirates. They will come back into the story. And Tritoma will be leading them, most definitely. She's gonna be the new captain, and she is definitely gonna help get them out of there. And we may see Gloriosa go. We may see Shaki and Gloriosa get on the ship together, because Gloriosa is here too. The Rock's crew is eventually breaking up at this God Valley event. They're going to be done. They're going to be disbanded here, because everybody's going to go their own separate ways during these fights. So with Gloriosa, because I know Gloriosa is definitely there to save Shaki. There's no way about it. And with Gloriosa and Shaki on this island at the same time, it would be perfect for the Kuja to come back to get their former captains. Not even for them to solely rejoin the crew, because they can. That option is there. But with all this havoc going down, the crew wants to make sure both of their former empresses are safe, because they know that they're going to be there. So Gloriosa and Shaki are going to ride back with the Kuja pirates. It makes so much sense. It has to happen that way. So the Kuja pirates will show up, Gloriosa and Shaki. Like, I think Gloriosa is going to be probably with Rayleigh, or amongst, in the presence of, when Shaki is finally rescued. So once Gloria and Shaki reunite, I suspect a hug between them. They're gonna find that their Kuja women, their Kuja members, pull up to save them. Like, hey, empresses, we came for you. We weren't gonna leave you behind. We couldn't just stand by and watch, as we heard in the news that Shaki was captured, and that you were on your way here, Gloriosa-san, along with Rox. So with Gloriosa and Shaki both being here, the Kuja have to come back, and it's gonna be Tritoma leading them. And then with Dragon being here as well, we can get the meeting between Luffy's parents. Man, I love this story, man. I love this story. But this has just been a quick discussion about the Kuja and how they may affect God Valley, because they're gonna come. They're going to come. It's no doubt about it. The Kuja will be there, and we'll see a reunion between Shaki, Gloriosa, and their former crew. And we're gonna possibly get the meeting. I think it's a definite, but I'm still gonna say possibly and might for the sake of conversation. But I believe it's gonna happen. Tritoma and Dragon will end up meeting at God Valley for the first time. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. So there's gonna be romance here at God Valley. It's bound to happen, man. Because it's romance set up between Rayleigh and Shaki. And then you got Tritoma and the Kuja pirates possibly coming in, so that could segue into Tritoma and Dragon meeting. And then you got Gloriosa, who she may fall in love with somebody here who we least expect. And I expect it to be Whitebeard. I expect Gloriosa and Whitebeard to possibly fall in love at some point during this story. But that's all I got for you right now, man. That's all I'm gonna give you. It's been my thoughts, my discussion, free thought, you know what I'm saying, prediction. But I definitely believe the Kuja pirates are going to be pulling up during God Valley. They're gonna show up. It's perfect for them to show up. While everybody's attention is on Rox, Roger, and Garp fighting amongst each other, as well as fighting the God's Knights, The Kuja pirates have the perfect leeway to enter, get Shaki up out of there after she's rescued from the guys at first due to Rayleigh. And then they sail on, and Gloriosa will get on the ship with them. Because the Rock's crew disbanded. You got to wonder, who did Gloriosa and Shaki leave with? They both could have easily got on Roger's ship, but that's too predictable. The Kuja pirates showing up and taking their empresses back makes the most sense. And then we get to see a meeting with Trutoma and Dragon. So that's all I got for you right now, man. I'm going to just leave that on that note. And remember, man, I hope you all enjoy this out there. This is the greatest flashback in the history of the story. Undoubted by it. This is the, I don't care. I know we still got the Void Century and the Ancient Kingdom flashback to get to as far as the clans and the eradication of the D clans and whatnot. And Emu's backstory and all that. And the Nefertari, because they're all going to play a big part. And the Davies. So we still got more to get to in that. That's going to be in the government arc. But with this Elbath and God Valley flashback, that will probably take us back to Wano eventually. I think we're going to get more Wano lore that we have yet to expound upon. This is just so much, man. This is the greatest time to be a One Piece fan. It's the greatest time to actually be a One Piece fan, because if you've never missed a chapter, you've always been a fan, you've always stayed consistent with the reading, this is the greatest arc. This is the greatest flashback. It's undoubtedly the greatest. So I'm gonna leave it on that note, man. This is JD Rich coming back at you with another video. And remember, a piece of life is life in one piece. Peace.